Yo, Bim, Saudi! It's Arthur Allain here, St.Lucia 6-time Groovy Monarch, and these are my must-haves.
I met this pretty woman inside a party. She got a whole...
So when we talk about my must-haves, I try to think of things I always have or use every day. And the first thing is my cell phone, but that's kind of like a usual thing for everybody. Everybody has a cell phone these days. But for me, when I look deeper behind my cell phone, I actually have something that's a little precious, unique, It's a prayer, Psalm 91. My mother always taught me. I grew up very Catholic. My grandparents had me saying the rosary non-stop every week, every day. Although I'm not really a church person these days, I still keep this prayer with me. Protection, if you want to call it, guidance. If you know the prayer, go check it out, Psalm 91. I always feel like I must have it with me, and because I always have my cell phone, it's always with me. Another must-have, well, that's linked to my cell phone. The cell phones these days die quickly, so I must have a power bank, because my battery be going down, although it's a fairly new phone, going down quickly by the moment, so I must always have a little extra pack to make sure I lose touch with the outside world, It gives me about a 2 to 3 charges, just a generic power bank that I got on the airports, but always have it. Make sure, because otherwise, phone dead, already.
Comfort me, baby.
Whilst everybody in the airports, the wireless airports in the US and this and that, I did own a FPF airport. I can't find one of them, and I refused to look for it. And I was in Japan, myself and Nerdy, we come across those wired headphones. When I listen to them, I realize they play a lot better than the wireless AirPods. So I kept them and listen every day. Sometimes I get a little tangled in things I'm doing, but I must have my wired headphones so I can listen to some music, keep me calm, keep me airy, and I love my music, so headphones is a must. Now, as a man who's always on the move, gymming every now and then, not as much as I should. It's been a while, I haven't been there, but I'll be back. But something always hurting me. When you're jumping up on stage and you're very active. I keep this in my vehicle all the time because let me tell you, the pain does get real. And a lot of people don't know, but I suffer with sciatica. And if you don't know what sciatica is, this extreme lower back pain, you feel a shooting down your leg. And sometimes you see me jumping up and down on stage and feel, boy, I nice and I kind of pain. So I always keep my little massage gun around me, just to touch up the back, touch up the legs. My calves, they get weak after a while, standing up too long, and I must have my massage gun in my vehicle somewhere, anytime, use it up, keep my body airy, Must have a cheap pair of sunglasses. Something interesting about me, a lot of people, sometimes they ask me, boy, where you get them threads, or where you get that this and that, and where you bought that clothes, and I don't buy designer. The only designer that I own, I don't even want to call it designer, my Ray-Ban sunglasses, those are you. This is my only expensive sunglasses. And I only bought them for the camera, for content. So I said, you know what, it'd be interesting to get a view of me performing on stage with the crowd, and I've never done it yet. But I always have my pair of cheap sunglasses. Why? Because the first one I bought maybe 15 years ago, literally when I got back to the hotel room, I stepped on them and I damaged them. I was like, money just gone down the drain? Nah, $20? Yes, I worrying about that'll be Versace or nah, that me, I grew up with them things. I grew up very simple, and even my clothes, something you wash once, twice, that doesn't get by here already. So I just wear whatever looks good and feels good on me, and that's it. Even my suits, people ask, oh man, where you get that suit? Listen, Amazon are the baddest set of suits you can find. I go on Amazon, go to my seamstress, have a, tailor it down to my, and I'm good, I feel airy. That's all that matters in it.
Just call on me, baby.
I am a musician, so I must have instruments. As much as I don't spend money on things like clothes and sunglasses, when it comes to equipment, I spend a whole lot of money on them, especially musical instruments. This one is not too expensive, but it was my first guitar I purchased. Semi-acoustic. I'm not the best player around, but when every morning, every day, I try to,
I know I have to go, wish that I could stay.
That was my very first song, actually. It's called Just Enough, written by Christopher Hahn. First professional record, I must say. But my guitar is a must-have. You know, I couldn't bring my piano with me, so. But every morning I try to put my fingers on the piano. My kids too, whenever they see me play, they all run to the piano and try to play a little something. So hopefully they can play a lot better than I can, but my musical instruments, that's a must-have. Guitar, we there. Yeah, speaking of musical equipment, this is the must-have for me. This is a Neumann TLM 102. Neumann, that's how they pronounce it, I haven't know. But that's the mic that I use to record myself and many other artists, even the guy behind the camera. He's recorded on this guy before. I've had it for a few years. It cost me about $3,000 EC. But it's made its worth 10, 15, maybe 50 times over. You know, it's recorded most of the hits that you've heard from myself. And it's something that I use almost every day. I create jingles, I create music for myself, music for other persons, voiceovers. It's really done well for me, you know.
Why this mic over the others?
I chose this mic on the recommendation of a few other producers. It was like, you know, if you're looking for something that's not too expensive, but not cheap at the same time, it's very well-rounded, can record guitars, musical instruments, can also get a good, you know, any voice. So soca voices to R&B voices, hip-hop voices, it's good with that. I was like, you know what? All right, seems like a good buy. Probably my third or fourth mic. I've passed a few of those before, but this one, I really like the sound of it, and that's one of my definitely must-haves. So, thinking about upgrading soon, but for now, this guy here, that's my buddy. Respect, big up yourself. Yeah, a simple must-have for me is a rag. If you realize, I sweat in a rhythm, I sweat very, very easily. See on stage, yes sir, two songs, one song, and my body done dripping already in sweat, so I must have a little rag in me everywhere I go. If I don't have my rag, I think that's one of the things I have to have. I feel so gêné, especially when I have to go and perform, and oh boy, and I don't have my rag. I'm a mess. I need to have one to just, you know, dab and dab. I've thought about all kind of things to stop sweat, especially like my armpits too. So if you realize a lot of the clothes that I wear, like dark clothing, or even like my shirts, the material, I don't wear. I have some nice shirts in my closet I can never wear because every time I put them on me, by the time I put them, it's sweat spots all over. But like how God make me, they say sweating is healthy, so it is what it is. But I must have my rag to make sure, you know, stay a little dry and airy. Yeah.
I think a rag is like compulsory for most soca artists.
Yeah, man, a rag is, you see, a rag is multifaceted. It's what you wipe in your face because you know you sweat a lot. It's a rag to wave and get on bad. You know, it's a prop because, you know, your hand, just to keep something in your hand to keep, you know, sometimes we feel a little idle when we don't have something. The mic in one and the other hand's just there. You know, something to put in your hand and keep your hand airy. But yeah, as a performer, I think essential, next to water, have your rag. Yeah. Must have, always in my vehicle, is a little perfume, you know? That one is, what do they call that one there again? What's that one? Invictus, yeah. Smell the Invictus and get nervous, yeah. I always have the Invictus in my vehicle just as a, yeah, make sure every time I step out, you know, because sometimes we sweat, it can get a little funky, so to avoid the book smell in our Lucian parlance, keep a little, you know, perfume to keep me airy. Yeah, this is one of my favorite fragrances. Like, it's between that or the Sauvage or like Versace. Yeah, those my three top fragrances. Must have. And when I must have, you know to smell good. Yeah, I must have my little press mouthwash there. You're always talking, you always meet for faces, so you must keep the breath for like a airy. That's one of my must-haves. Always have my little Crest mouthwash spray. Keep me fresh and airy. My last most important must-have is a timepiece. I don't wear much jewelry, but my watch, wedding ring, these are the top. Time, I always believe we should not let time control us, but time is like a construct that we use as human beings to keep us, you know, in check. And I always believe in being on time, you know, appreciating the time that you have. And let me tell you, focus on the now, because the past, don't let the past define you. The future is yours, but the future is dependent on how you react in the present. So the timepiece is just to keep me in check. all the time. I feel grounded. I feel at peace with one. And yeah, that's my must-have. Time, peace, we there. Yes, I Saudi. So this is Arthur Allain. These have been my must-haves. Hope you guys enjoyed a little something new about me. Hope you've been checking out the music. Just released a few songs. Getting It Good from my last album, also called Getting It Good. Also, Don't Overthink It by Minor Productions. And we just released a music video for the song Comfort Me on the Fields Audio Collective by Morto. And look out for a lot of brand new music. We're actually shooting a new music video next week, so look out for that. It's called Work on Pause. And we have a few other surprises in store for you. A lot to happen for Arthur Allain. See you guys at Jazz Carnival. I think this year it's going to be one of our biggest years yet. Big up to the artists who've been dropping music on stereo. Let's keep the momentum going. People show some support, show the love. You know already. Stay tuned to the music. Arthur Allain 758 across platforms. Much love. Thank you very much. Big up Beam. You already know.
Comfort me, baby.